The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. Get up to 1K deposit match with Mark Fantasy with the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's currently Monday morning, August 11th at around 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Scott Reichel, once again joined by Adam Rosenberg, and together we're going to break down the props that we have for the Friday card. Adam, how's it going with you? What's up? How's your weekend?
It's good. I'm just kind of looking at a couple things here on some splits because the card is kind of, I was very used to us having a lot of baseball games like every single day, and it feels like a lot of the teams that you and I like to bet on are not playing today. So it's a little bit, it was a little bit disorienting.
Yeah, I definitely felt kind of the same way when I did the game breakdowns yesterday. There still are some games. It just feels like a lot of teams that are playing I'm not that thrilled about, as you said before, so you're kind of just in no man's land. But either way, looking forward to the props, of course, should be fun. I know last episode I went in 1-1-1, so not too bad, not too great, whatever. It's fine. I will move forward.
I was 1-2. We were very, very close to hitting our third sweeping underdog entries last week.
Yeah, Adolis didn't come through in that last.
No, and it was like a very weak single in the eighth inning.
Yeah. So we were that close, didn't really
get it was the right read, wrong result. That's what
it happens. But either way, point is looking forward to the games on Monday and the props, of course. I'll ask you before we officially get started, anything you want to talk about?
I don't know. Did you and I talk about this last night? We can talk about it real quick. I mean, I'm gonna have my show tonight and I'll talk about it, but so your thoughts on if the Mets could fall out of the playoffs? I have an opinion, as I always do, but I want to know yours.
So I talked about this with Dylan on the show, of course, because he's a Mets fan. I think the answer is yes. In reality, they're right now, I believe, half a game up on Cincinnati, and the Reds by the deadline. They didn't look good yesterday, but they won. Damn, that bullpen was really bad yesterday. But I'm going to say the answer is yes. Even though I think the Mets are a more talented team than Cincinnati, and I'd understand if you wanted to take the Mets over Cincinnati over the last 2 months. Like, I'd understand why you'd want to do that. Having said that, I do feel like it's kind of what the Yankees are dealing with. A lot of it is psychological. It feels like this team is starting to, I don't want to say embrace the loser mentality, but it feels like everything's gone wrong for this team. They made moves at the deadline that we actually liked. They got Mullins, they got a couple of pitchers, and none of it's helped. It feels like the main guys, Lindor, Alonso, etc. Soto's been better. He was pretty good against Milwaukee in that series over the weekend. It feels like a lot of the main guys just haven't been consistent enough. And with that being the case, I just think the Mets, in theory, can continue to fall apart. It wouldn't totally shock me. Same with the Yankees. You look up and they're half a game ahead of Cleveland. You wonder where the hell Cleveland came from. It's kind of the same thing as Cincinnati. I'll put it this way. If the Mets got in, I would not be surprised because they are more talented, in my opinion, than the Reds. But if they missed entirely, I wouldn't be surprised either because right now this team's in free fall and it feels like there's no way to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, part of the thing is with the Mets is, I mean, look, with Soto, if you're not MVP, everything's not good enough. So,
I gave him a slight pass solely based on how he did over the weekend. I
know sure. I mean, the problem with the Mets versus the Reds, and honestly, you can group the Guardians into this too because it's the same type of situation, is that the Mets, and actually both New York teams actually have this problem. You can have bad streaks. You can have a 4-game loss. You can have a 3-game loss. You can't have these like pockets of 7-game losses. Like the Mets have their second 1-9 stretch in the last 8 weeks. Like
what are they again? They're 1-11 in their last 12, I think.
Yeah, or 1-9 is the way I would say it if you're talking about.
No, I know. I'm saying because you're mentioning because they were 1-9 another time. But
so like so like the Reds are only 5-5 in their last 10. Like they're not, the Reds aren't setting the Guardians though. It's a different situation because the Guardians, and bear in mind a lot of the Guardians stuff, with the exception of that Mets series, has been bottom feeding.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. But the Yankees picked a time to go 3-7 when the Guardians went 8-2. So that one, it's not as close as it looks. It's a bad kind of, it's bad luck on one team and good luck on another team.
It's extremely bad timing.
Yeah. This Reds one is interesting because obviously, look, you and I know, for all those who also who a while ago when we all gave out I think 7-1 for Mets to be the 6th seed. You got to feel great because if they're not getting anything higher than that, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And if you followed us since the beginning of the year, you have red stuff, so you're in great shape either way on a futures time. But the Reds aren't setting the world on fire. The Reds aren't like running for it, and I liked their pickups. And so the thing with the Mets is just that I feel like they're being very calculated on guys like Minaya and on bringing guys slowly back pitching wise. But you're right, the vibe's off. The vibe's like, it's hard to not have the same vibe like last year where like you come from behind games and
you had a Jose Iglesias concert after every single game.
Like you had a vibe. Like they don't have that right now, despite having, one of the RBI leaders who we also have a ticket for in pocket. But it's to me, this is actually like a very critical series for the Reds right now against the Phillies. And I ended up adding a late play because of it. I think the Lodolo injury is going to end up impacting the Reds a lot more than the mid pitching that the Mets are getting out of everybody, because Lodolo kind of had an ace mentality on there, and they don't have that really with anybody. Hunter Green's coming back, which is going to be a huge.
They have Green who's coming back. We'll see how long, and of course Abbott is still Abbott.
He's not going to be able to go more than 5 innings each time. Like his conditioning's just not there. So I don't know, but I like that Reds team. I do think that the other problem is just that the Padres, who aren't lighting the world on fire, did light the world on fire over the last week. Like the Padres are not playing fantastic baseball. The run differential is worse than the Reds. It's middling. Like the Padres, Mets, and Reds all have like identical figures across the board, but the Mets happen to go 1-9 in a week when the Padres went 7-3, and so like we're freaking out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can make an
argument.
That's
what happens.
You can make an argument it's been a perfect storm for these other wildcard teams watching the Mets implode, but I do think, as we talked about vibes, etc., look, I understand the Mets are more talented on paper. I get it, but the games aren't played on paper. And it feels like whatever this team does, they're stuck in quicksand. Same with the Yankees. Yankees even more so over the last week.
Yankees, I think, more so. Because the Yankees, it's just like...
The Devin Williams thing has been just an absolute insanity.
Since he had a baby.
Pretty much, but of course, that's been a big reason why they fell apart against the Astros over the weekend. They had some issues the entire week in general, too. The Yankees, it was also a bit weird because Judge missed some time. Then he came back, but then you couldn't use Stan because Judge was DHing, and Stan was the hottest hitter on the team. So that also was a extremely set of weird circumstances. We'll see what happens if Judge ends up fielding again. Look, I'll put it this way. There's a world where both New York teams miss the playoffs. I'm not going to write that world off. I think that is definitely a possibility. If the Mets outlasted the Reds and the Reds fell apart later on in the year, I would not be surprised either. But I have to at least acknowledge that this can become a reality where the Yankees and the Mets just really never straighten themselves out and they find themselves potentially missing by a game or two. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, it is. The last thing I'll say about the Yankees, and I want to talk to Jermaine's question that he has in here, is that Yankees have by far the easiest record coming up, the easiest schedule coming up, where they're about to play a lot of bottom feeding, and this is gonna you want to make up some wins. This is it. Jermaine 34 asks, who's the brewer that is crushing lefties? Brewers smash these lefties. Brewers smash lefties on handigraphs. I am seeing last 30 plate appearances versus left-handed pitchers. You want Yelich or you want Contreras or Andrew Vaughn?
I was going to say Contreras because I know he had a good weekend.
Contreras, Vaughn, or Yelich. The entire heart of that lineup kind of kills it. So an HRR on any of those guys is probably going to be good value. So
yeah, but anyway, I appreciate you want to talk about the wild card race. I didn't really talk about it that much yesterday. But...
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a peep right now because like people usually are just like, well, what do you want to? So, but here's the bet. The best bet you can probably make right now is take red ceiling stuff. Because here's the thing about all these, like, don't take team that's already in the playoffs to win the conference. Like people are doing that stuff. Or the league. That's stupid. They're already in. You're getting no value. Take a team that needs to like get a game and a half and get in. Like take the Guardians to be in the LCS. Like these sorts of things, because basically what you're betting on is better value on a 6 seed to make a run. So that is that is how you should be approaching betting this from a futures perspective. We already have like a good amount of Reds liability, so I don't want to go too nuts, but I'll pull it up right now. But the Reds, if you wanted to do Reds or Guardians to make the LCS, which I do not think that the Guardians are built to do that, but whatever. God, that'd be wild. Oh, here it is. Leagues. To reach LCS, the Reds are 25-1, which is great. I think that's awesome. You're basically getting like, they got to make the playoff. It's a 4-leg parlay, but they're a game and a half out, as you said. And then if you want, just to give you an idea of what's going on in the AL, the Guardians.
They're not a game and a half out. They're a half game out.
No, they're a game. MLB.com has them a game and a half.
Oh, really? I thought they were half a game out. Okay, my bad. Apologies.
Yeah, because I think the Mets have 2 more losses than they do. You can't make up losses.
Oh, you're saying the Reds. So I thought you meant the Guardians. Sorry, my bad.
No.
The Guardians are half a game back. The Reds are a game and a half back.
And Guardians to make the ALCS is 13-1. Don't bet. Like, what am I looking at here? The Guardians 2-1 to make the playoffs isn't very interesting. And
that was 2-1. The Reds were 3-20.
Reds have been 3-1 all season, so there's no change there. Just bet that there's when a team makes a run to do it. We saw this with the Tigers last year. They do it. Like you go in and you get there and you do something. So bet the ceilings on these things, guys.
Yeah, so there you go. Either way, though, should be a pretty fun wild card race for the next 2 months. We'll see what happens. But as you said before, keep an eye out for our upcoming schedule. I feel like people forget about that. You look at the slump that the team's in, you kind of ignore all the other factors. I'm not going to excuse the Yankees' bad play. Same with the Mets because they went into Milwaukee, and I thought they actually played okay. They just punted away a couple games. You're hoping that these teams that are fighting for the wild card spot will at least try to capitalize on bottom feeders. Even the Reds, who won yesterday, they split a 4-game series against Pittsburgh. It's not really a great series for them. They just managed to do a good job of winning the last 2 games. So keep that in mind. But either way, should be a fun race in both the AL and the NL wildcards for the end of the season. Anyway, time to move on into the props that we have for the show. Adam, I'll go first as always. What's going to be your first player prop for the card on Monday?
All right, so this is a late edition, but I pivoted on a couple things. So that everybody knows, I like Jeffrey Springs today. I do have Jeffrey. I made Scott bet Jeffrey Springs under 2.5 ER. I got a weird vibe on it because it feels too good to be true. So whatever, count it as a play. But the play that I'm going to tell you that I do like right now, Andrew Abbott. Andrew Abbott's 6 Ks is plus 150. So he hasn't had knockout, strikeout stuff, and his Augusts have been generally worse overall, but his Ks per 9 in August has always been great. He has like an over double-digit Ks per 9 in August. He's seen this team a bunch of times, and the Phillies just swept the Rangers, so this is just kind of a weird. It's almost like a down spot. It's still on the road trip. It's like a down spot for the Phillies, especially in this opening game. If you look at so I also like to say for like Abbott. While his K stuff hasn't been great, the Phillies, it really hasn't mattered. Kate Povich had 7 Ks against this team, so this is kind of a very similar situation that I am seeing in here. So the last 30 plate appearances against lefties, I am seeing 8 of the 9 guys in this batting order for the Phillies have K rates of 23% or higher. And if you look at, lefties against this team, one up until yesterday, let's see, until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Until Patrick Corbin was Patrick Corbin yesterday, 6 straight lefties had gone over their K line, 7 of their last 8. Skubal had 10, and they won that game by multiple runs. Povich had 7. We had Rogers on the last show. He had 6. So this Phillies team ends up scoring runs later against lefties, but they're not the same kinds as in the past. So, and I don't love this spot overall. So give me Andrew Abbott. He's also, by the way, in his home K rate. If you look his last 5 games, he's had 5 or more Ks in 3 of the last 4. He had 7 against Tampa Bay. So give me Abbott at 6 Ks. I think this might have some ladder potential for us if we want to get really funky. But 6 Ks at plus 150.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. I like the price that you mentioned. Plus
It's also
150.
the one thing. I mean, Gaming Plus, it's a little humid there, but this is also one of those things like they need Abbott to eat some innings, and I think he's going to be out there still for 6 innings. And
Well, I was going to say yesterday's game was just chaos. They burned a bunch of the bullpen
right,
yesterday.
so he's going to have to be out there for 6 innings. He's under his IPs for the season, so give me this. Maybe we don't ladder it, but I think that 6K is plus 150 is good, and that's on a Profit X.
Yeah, so that's on an exchange if you want to grab a better price. Anyway, before we get into my first prop, a reminder, the Sports Game Podcast is doing another pack opening with DAPS, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. Get your team now. The teams will sell out. Go out and go get your team once again at sportsgamepodcast.com/break and use your promo code SGPN to get 10% off. That's once again, sportsgamepodcast.com/break to get 10% off with the code SGPN. Anyway, moving on to my first prop for the show. I'm going to go back to that Milwaukee game as they take on Andrew Heaney. I'm going to fade Andrew Heaney. I'll take his under 3.5 strikeouts at minus 130. Looking at his strikeouts recently, they've been horrible. He's had less than 3 strikeouts in 4 of the last 5. Now he needs 4 against an elite offense. He's had less than 4 strikeouts in 7 of his last 8 road starts. His outs prop's only at 14.5. So we'll see if he actually even goes 5 innings against this team. But his K rate has been quite bad all season, and it's been even worse lately. His K rate this season, 16.4%, whiff rate at 20%. Both those are not good. Past 5 starts, K rate of 8.1%, whiff rate of 17.2%. His bad K stuff's gotten progressively worse season has gone on. And Milwaukee this season, over the past 4 weeks, has the lowest K rate against lefties in the league, and this season at home, they have the lowest K rate against lefties. They are really good at working counts. They're really good at not striking out at home against lefties. And you're looking at Heaney, who's had less than 3 strikeouts in 4 of the last 5. 3.5 when his outs lines at 14.5 feels very, very generous at minus 130 because he might only go 5 innings to the ceiling in this one. So
he's got a 6% K rate in his last road starts. What the hell?
I'm saying, yeah, so just give me the 3.5 under. I know that Manaya did go over his number yesterday in 4 innings, but the point is Heaney's not striking out anybody, and Milwaukee's a wagon at home.
He doesn't have nearly the same stuff.
Not nearly the same stuff. Heaney's been a mess. So either way, give me the Andrew Heaney under 3.5 strikeouts prop of minus 130.
Here's I will also just call. I mean, I agree with it. I agree with the whole thing. The one thing, be wary of. This is really for everybody. Be wary of home road splits on Ks for batters because with the exception of the Royals, who I've been saying for 2 years are cheating. It doesn't. There's not a thing that totally matters. Hitting stuff is like park dimension based, but K stuff, it's a little bit different. Like your form is your form when you're batting. Pitchers, it's different because the sight line behind where you're looking at everything when you're looking at a catcher, it's completely different in ballpark to ballpark. But by the way, I was surprised Heaney didn't get traded.
I mean, he stinks, but yes, I thought he.
Yeah, but he eats innings.
Yeah. Well, recently no, but in theory he could. You figured maybe
he started off the season, people called him like a Cy Young.
You can make him a long reliever if you wanted to. Like, you can try some stuff out. But either way, I'll fade him in the spot. You know, I don't excuse to back Milwaukee's bats, but they're real good at working counts. So
yeah, I agree. It's I mean, it's everything is breaking Milwaukee's way right now.
Yep. So give me Heaney to struggle in this outing.
Would be real damn shame if that didn't continue in the playoffs. It would be a terrible shame if they had an exact elimination bet in the divisional. It would be terrible. I don't know why I would ever put that out there.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him, but I know that for monetary purposes, we might be rooting
monetary purposes. It would be an absolute disaster for me if the Brewers advanced. If the Brewers get to do anything in the playoffs, it's going to be a monetary disaster for me, like retiring from gambling disaster.
Just saying, if you take the money out of it, I think they're a fun team to watch. So
they're always fun. They're a fun team to watch, despite the fact that they don't hit home runs.
No, correct. I'm just saying they're a nice throwback team for me. I like watching them play.
No.
But anyway, I'm moving on to your second prop that you have for the Monday card. What do you like?
All right, so Christian Javier is back. You remember him?
Yes, he had a no-hitter against the Yankees.
Yep, and then he tore his elbow.
Yes, he did.
Like 2 weeks later. So, but guess what? He is back, and for those wanting, Trevor's going to be coming on my show tonight, and we're going to have a debate about Isaac Collins, Rookie of the Year, and the Brewers ceiling. It will be great. But all right. So I'm saving receipts, by the way. So, all right, Christian Javier. I just want everyone to know Christian Javier has always had a walk problem. And that didn't go away when he was in the minors on these minor league rehab assignments. Guess how many guys he walked in his 14 innings in the minors?
11.
No, higher, 15.
Really? Okay, that's
nine in the last 3, and that's with automated balls and strikes. So that means that they were probably even worse. Automated balls and strikes, by the way, benefits your Ks. It does not benefit your balls. So
yeah.
All right. That being said, so his over 1.5 is -175, but we're going to alt this. Okay. We're going to go to, because the Red Sox have had a nasty K rate, or nasty walk rate. So we're going to go with, I got it at +220, but now it's +195 for 3 walks for Javier, +195. Do that to win a unit. Again, what else would I have it here? It's his first, like I said, it's his first start since last May, and he had 15 walks in 14 innings. I'll take it.
Yeah, right.
I agree. By the way, Trevor, I agree. Drake Baldwin is not winning shit.
I didn't realize that he had that many walks in the minors. That's pretty rough. So there you go.
His swinging strikes were pretty good. Nice little Captain Insano with the comment of the decade. Make sure you bring up WAR. The nerd.
I'm a bigger fan of Raw, but wewe're still working out the details.
Dude. I love it. Everyone brings up. Well, CJ texted me the other day, and he's just like, he just said, whenever I disagree with you, Berg, I just bring up WAR, and you go ape shit. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's a nerd metric. I love it. I love Insano, and I love Trevor. But honestly, if I want to do a fun SGP, we could do over Ks, over walks.
Well, I'm going to ask you though, what were his pitch counts in the minors? I'm curious how long he's going in this one.
I would imagine 4 innings, but he's always had walk problems. Like this isn't new. But let me look at what the
I'm just wondering for an expectation of pitches. We're looking at 80, 85.
Oh, that's
probably
80 would be pretty high. I think.
You think 80's high?
I think 70. I think probably closer to 70.
I just wanted to figure out what type of range we were working with.
Yeah, I think we're going to get – let me look at this. Pitching game logs. Let's see. I would say – so his the batter – he had 3 innings each start. He went into the 4th in the last 2. 77 pitches last start. 60 went 46, 49. How do you walk 4 guys with 64 pitches? 64, 77. So.
Yeah, but I like the play for the plus money.
Yeah.
Once again, 15 walks in 14 innings that's worse than Luis Heel territory. That's pretty bad.
Again, this is like what he did last year. Wow, I didn't realize you could look at the splits versus older batters versus younger batters. You could do that on Baseball Reference.
By the way, I looked it up, and technically Javier didn't have a no-hitter. He was the starter in a combined no-hitter against the Yankees, but whatever. Same crap. Doesn't matter. Whatever. All right. Anyway, so you said it was 190 now?
It's plus 195.
Okay, 195. There you go. So before I get into my second prop for the show, a reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, MyBookie. Whose bookie?
MyBookie, who I couldn't log into yesterday, but we'll talk about that another day.
A separate story. Now in the middle of the ad read. Anyway, MyBookie's place bet every sport. They have baseball, they have WNBA, they have tennis, they have golf, and of course football futures. You can also use a ton of occasions, use them to bet with crypto. You can use them for deposits and fast payouts. And a reminder, when you do use MyBookie, when you sign up for an account, use the code SGPN to get a deposit match up to $1,000, 100% deposit match. So keep that in mind. Terms and conditions apply. Look at the G promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm because they have power trends, which are now called Smart Signal. Same thing. They just changed the branding. Point is, you can use them to bet on baseball and WNBA with the best props the model has to offer. So for the MLB, Smart Signals have been crushing it for player unders, so keep that in mind. WNBA, though, was great in the month of July. Smart Signals went 97 and 65 in July with an ROI of 15.64%. Check out the app, though. Check out Smart Signals, start betting smarter. And a reminder that we do have a link, which does promote a 7-day free trial with the platform. But it's sportsgamble.com's Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial with Rhythm.
Also, we got kicked off. We had an entire bookie situation because we were so hot on Smart Signals.
Yes, that is definitely true.
That is 100% true. We literally had to create an entire backroom deal with this bookie because he said, I am tired of losing money to you guys.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. So we had to spend an entire day negotiating with the bookie to keep us on the books.
We did. The trade was basically send me other books and other players in exchange for your
services, basically. Yeah, your WNBA services. That did 100% happen. So there you go. That's how good the smart signals have been.
I know. We don't lie on this show, man. We just have strange things that happen.
Yep, they've been really good. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple props that we have for the Monday card. Time to keep it going with my second prop for the show. Moving on, I'm going to go to one of my favorite player fades. We cashed with him a couple episodes ago. I'll go back to him. Of course, he might not play. I am the Void King after all. But it's Yankee Stadium. Teams try to get lefties batting in Yankee Stadium. Good enough for me. Give me Mickey Gasper again. A no-hits at plus 105. He stinks. That's really my main breakdown. He's had 0 hits in 11 of his last 12. Warren's pitching. He's been much better at home this season on the road. Last 3 starts, he has been pretty good. 16 and 2/3 innings pitched, 14 hits allowed, 3 runs allowed. Gasper is a switch hitter. He's actually better from the right side. He's batting around 129 against righties this season. He should be batting 9th. He's absolutely terrible at baseball. Good enough for me. Give me Gasper plus money. No, it's an 11 of 12, and he's plus money to not get a hit. Sure, I'll take it. Plus 105. So
yeah, Gasper stinks.
He's terrible. Absolutely horrible. And I love every second of his plate appearances. A lot of pop-ups. He does walk a lot, which is actually good for me. So he will see some pitches. He'll walk. He's not afraid of even taking a potential third strike, trying to walk. His K rate, though, has been quite bad lately, too. It's not fluky. I believe over the last 5 or 10 games, his expected batting average was 16. So his batting average is 0, and his expected is 16. So he's not even unlucky. He's just really bad at baseball. But plus money, I'll take it. Give me Gasper, no hits, plus 105. Anything you want to add there? He stinks.
He stinks. I mean, there's concern about a lefty in Yankee Stadium, but not with a guy like that.
That's for home runs. I'm fine. If Gasper goes yard, I'll live with that. That's fine. I can live with that. It's like he models his entire game stance-wise after being like Brett Gardner, except he's really bad at baseball. That's kind of the vibes I get when he bats.
That's fair.
He'll work counts, but doesn't actually get hits. So good enough for me. But Warren, maybe you like Warren. I'm not the biggest fan.
I don't like Warren. I don't like Warren.
I don't, but he has been a lot better at home than on the road. So
he's way better. His K rate's like impossibly better.
That's what I'm saying. So the fact is, I think I'll actually go decently in this game. They're laying 180, which is insane, but you can argue maybe that's a trap line. Maybe it's just Yankees tax, who knows. But Warren at home, I can actually trust to some degree, which is good enough for me. So there you go. Anyway, I'm moving on to your third prop. What do you like?
Okay, so my third prop, we're gonna go with this is the time of the show where I like to share my screen. Let's do this. We're gonna go with a Yamamoto. I'm gonna do Yamamoto strikeouts. Spoiler alert. Let me do this. Clear. All right, Yamamoto. Yamamoto's been absolutely nasty as we are looking at this right now.
Mm-hmm. My third play was actually going to be a batter prop fade against Yamamoto. But
wait. On 3, let's say who it is at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Logan O'Hara.
I texted you. It was Taylor Ward.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was different. Okay.
I wanted the Ward no hits at plus 125. But he's actually been very good against the Dodgers.
He's on my heating up filter.
That's what I was saying. So I looked at him and then I looked deeper and I decided I wasn't interested. So I pivoted. But I was looking at Yamamoto and I acknowledged how good he's been.
All right. Well, check this out. Hold on. Let me just do it this way. Let me debut. This is. Let's take a look at this Angels lineup versus righties in their last 30 plate appearances. Oh my God. Look at all that, dude. That's exactly why every single guy on this team has a K rate above 25% against righties in the last 30 plate appearances. In the last 60, it's just as bad. So this is happening. This is just so 8K is plus 125. Ship it.
Yeah, I think Yamamoto pitches well. I decided to not do Ward in the end, but I do like the premise, which is why we ended up basically at the same conclusion. Yamamoto should shove. in this game. So that's kind of how I looked at it. But either way, I can get behind that definitely, especially with how much the Angels have been striking out lately against righty pitchers. Moving on to my final prop on the show. I am going to go with a batter prop, a guy that's been very good to us, a pro batter prop, feeling nice today. Give me Soderstrom again. Give me the 1.5 HRR at -110. He's been really, really good. He's had at least 2 HRR in 9 straight. He's been great at home as well. He's had at least 2 HRR in 11 of his last 15 home games. The pitchers are as kind of irrelevant, to be honest, because the A's have been hitting. Soderstrom's been great. It's Pepe at pitching. We can argue is up and down. He's much worse on the road, especially in this ballpark. I think he might struggle in this game. But Soderstrom I like as a player. After a great start to the season, he hit a wall for a couple months. He's back now. He's been really good. I know I cashed his over HRR a couple episodes ago. Give me a Soderstrom again at -110 for the HRR. So I don't know if you want to add anything there, but Soderstrom's been mashing. This team's been good, and Pepe in this ballpark could struggle. So I like the spot for Soderstrom.
Yeah, this is an interesting game to me. I'm backing Spring. I agree in theory. I agree, not in theory. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to pull up I have a ball go boom filter.
I think part of your reason why you like Springs, though, is you're looking at the Tampa offense going, why do I want
Tampa
to back
offense
this team
is
at all?
dead. And
the A's offense has been great, so that's why I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, let me see. Who's on that list? If you're also interested in guys, Bangaliers and JJ Bleday is back on the team.
Yeah,
that guy was terrible.
I remember he was decent at doubles one year. I think that was basically it.
Yeah, no, Soderstrom's been mashing the ball. I think it's fine. I think some of these young guys are just going to continue to just do that over there in Sacramento for a bit. So I think you're good.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my last prop for the show. Adam, I'll ask you about the miscellaneous section. We have no sponsorship.
No, we're still working on it. If anyone has to contact at Brazzers or AVN, we're working on it. DP wise, now we're starting to lean more into my my DP filter, which I created, which effectively just the DP filter is what is it? It is whip greater than 1, ground ball rate greater than or equal to 37%, and K rate that's less than 22%. I want guys that are not going to get dudes out, but they're going to get them on base. And then I compare it to the ground ball rate, and I'm looking at the Reds, and the Reds have a pretty bad ground ball rate right now, especially against right-handed pitchers. Let's see this. So I think they don't usually get a lot of them, but I think we're going to go with we're going to take the Phillies to turn a DP, guys. Kind of weird, but we don't usually do that, but we're going to do that. Someone just coming in, Mr. De Niro. Yep. Yamamoto, K's we are on. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be on the Phillies to turn a double play. And then I also like Jeff. I'm going to put this in our underdog entry, but I like Jeffrey Springs to have a good game. This is probably the last we're going to see of like a regular Jeffrey Springs the rest of the season, because he'll be at 140 innings. And it's time to wind him down. So give me Jeffrey Springs under earned runs too at -110. He's crushed this. He's under it in 7 of his last 10. A little bit worse at home, but this Tampa Bay team's stinky.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. I know that it's also a revenge game. Fun fact. So
it does.
If you care about that stuff.
It does. Rick is saying the hitting background matters a whole lot. Shad is there. It is like you're completely right. That is more of a day game, night game thing to me. But yes, you are totally right. That's why. But blanket K rates. He's talking about the home road splits. Blanket K rates on a home road split are a little bit like, for your point to the Brewers, like they're not K'ing either way.
Yeah, all the other metrics supported. I just
all the things
they were number one in the league. So
but for what Rick's talking about, that's why day night matters to me a lot. Like Atlanta and DC are notoriously bad ballparks and San Diego bad ballparks for hitters during the day because of these kind of things. So that's a good point out.
And Ping Nation wants to know where you can find the prop.
DPs.
Yeah, that's under team props, isn't it?
First time here, Pink Nation. Oh, a guy named Pink Nation must love a good old DP.
I think it's once again in the team prop section.
It's in team props. I'm putting it in right now. Boom. Phillies double play. -120.
Okay. There we go. Anything else you want to
No, I don't love the slate. I'm gonna probably put a couple things in later, but it's not gonna go crazy because we almost have football, and I'd like to spend a lot of money. I'd like to spend a gratuitous amount of money in Vegas this week.
Yeah, so either way, it's going to wrap it up for the miscellaneous section. Time to move on into our best bets and the underdog entry. Before getting into any of that, though, reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Circa. Speaking of Circa Million, Circa Survivor, because they're hosting 3 of the biggest football contests the upcoming season in the NFL. It's Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circa Grandissimo, over $20 million guaranteed prizes. And a reminder, they can hang out the SGPN guys at Circa Contest Weekend from the 21st to 23rd for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off your stay at Circa with the code SGP15. Contest open to everyone. Sign up at Nevada with Renwer, the help of our official proxy at footballcontest.com. Use code SGP, $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Gamble Fantasy. They're doing Best Mania, happening all summer long. 15 million prizes, 2 minute first place. No waiver wire, no trade arguments. Best ball, that's where to play fantasy football. It's also a great place to play Pick'em. You want to 500 times your entry. When you sign up, though, for your new account, use the code MLBSGPN. You get a special pick and reverse with an offer up to 1K in bonus cash on fantasy promo code MLBSGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through our props for the show. Time to move into our best bets. Adam, what's your favorite prop on the card today?
Probably Yamamoto.
Okay.
Probably the Yamamoto case.
That was 8+ at 125, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. For mine, it was either going to be Gasper or it was going to be Heaney. I think it's going to be Heaney. 3.5 Ks minus 130 on the under. Milwaukee's been great. Heaney, once again, is at a less than 4 strikeouts in 4 of the... He's at a less than 3 strikeouts in 4 of the last 5. He's been terrible. Simply put, Milwaukee's great not striking out against lefty, especially at home. See a good matchup for Heaney to struggle, and I do think the Brewers' worst-case scenario, struggle offensively, but don't strike out. So give me the Heaney under 3.5 Ks as my best bet for the show at minus 130. For underdog, you just said a second ago, you want to recycle a play you just gave out. Which play do you want to recycle?
So I want to use, I'm going to pull it up. I looked for this last night when I texted you. So Springs' hits is at, I just put in a boost, by the way, that they gave us. Springs' hits was at 5.5, which I didn't love. I like his under hits. And then underdog, I think looks like they have the better number. I don't mind juicing up our underdog and taking under 4.5 hits, but they'll give us 5.5. But I like the Springs under hits.
That's fine. We can take that.
Do you want to get frisky and do the under 4.5, or do you want to lower than 4.5, or do you want to keep it at the 5.5 that they gave us?
It's your call, whichever.
Don't do
Springs. Springs is your guy today, so I was going to let you decide the handicap on that.
Fine, we'll just do it. We'll do it that. Okay. Other things that we like. You love that Heaney play.
I mean, I do, but I did bet it.
You want to recycle it?
We can if you want to. I mean, I'm assuming you co-sign it. He's been terrible.
Oh yeah. I co-sign it. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
yeah, we can run him that back too.
Okay. So Heaney on that. Let me double check one thing on Heaney, because I think I like that Heaney play. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would be taking his overs. Like Minaya is the only person who's gone over. Like even Wentz went under, and Wentz has been king everybody. All right, let's see.
Well, you got 2 choices for the last play. You have Tiffany Hayes lower 15.5 PA.
Oh, we're doing it.
You have Xandal Assini a lower 1.5 threes.
You're the dub guy. What do we think?
That's power trends. So
I know. Well, smart signals.
Yeah, that's smart signal. So whichever you prefer. The last time we won an underdog entry, though, which was 2 episodes ago, we did have a WNBA.
Last time. We won 2 of 3 last week.
No, I know we did. I'm just saying that the last time we did have an entry with WNBA, we won.
Okay.
So
okay. I'm perfectly fine doing this. Oh, wait. You know what we haven't done in a while?
What?
The pitcher fantasy points.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Let me look using my this guy stinks filter. Pitchers getting beaten around filter. It looks like it's telling me that Jose Quintana or Miles Mikolas are not going to have great games.
I mean, I don't need an excuse to fade Mikolas, but that's kind of...
Those aren't really good. Well, then, hold on. Let me do the other side. Pitchers that might have good games. So, really likes Springs, Evaldi. So, just as a side note, I'm on a massive fade of Cade Cavalli today.
Okay.
Because this is his first So all the things that you said last week, and he had a great game, right?
It's his first road start. It's his first road
start ever. Not the first road appearance ever. It's the first time he has ever pitched in a road game. It feels like an auto fade. So do we want to do? And he's going against a team that doesn't K a lot. We want to do an under fantasy points on him.
That could work.
I feel like
what's that number at? My concern is though he does throw 100, so there could be some strikeouts involved, which would be a bit annoying. But I can still get behind it.
Let's see. They're cowards.
They don't have it?
Yeah, they don't have it. All right, we're going with Tiffany Hayes. What's the Tiffany Hayes one?
It was a 15.5 PA on the lower.
Got it. All right, cool. All right. So a little one here. It is let's see. This is it. It's we get a profit boost if we do this. All right. Andrew Heaney, lower 3.5 strikeouts. Tiffany Hayes, lower 15.5 points and assists. That is a smart signal. And Jeffrey Springs, lower 5.5 hits allowed, 4.69 multiplier.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for the show. Now, a reminder, we have a change of schedule because we're going to be in Vegas this upcoming week. So we will be unavailable for Wednesday. So instead, we're not going to leave all of you out to dry. There will be another prop episode Tuesday morning. So keep an eye out tomorrow morning for a prop show. On top of that, we should have a prop show on Saturday. So because we're traveling, it's going to be a 1 week off type of thing where we're going to have to change the schedule a bit because we're traveling. So keep that in mind, but there will be a prop show tomorrow morning as well. So there you go. Anyway, find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Find him on Twitter at Herosberg. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of